Welcome to Breaking Ties, Is Divorce the Answer? This is your go-to source for practical advice and support when considering if a divorce is the right answer for you. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll uncover a variety of topics such as child custody, property division, and self-care. Together, we'll explore the emotional, financial, and legal aspects of divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here is your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of Breaking Ties, Is Divorce the Answer? I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. And today's topic is really close to the heart, and that's really how to check in with your child when considering a divorce. So, as we know, divorce really is a complex and emotional experience, and even possibly more so for children. I mean, often parents get caught up in the legalities and the logistics. And sometimes you might neglect the most important people, and that's your kids. Now, how can we have open and honest conversations with your child during this tough time? Well, here's some key strategies that I've come up with to go over with you here today. And we're going to want to start with kind of like tailoring our approach for their age. I mean, with younger kids, let's say maybe between 5 and 10, you got to keep it simple and honest. You can say something like, mommy and daddy are having a hard time getting along and we're thinking about living separately. This doesn't mean we love you any less. So you want to keep it in a manner in which the kids can actually kind of digest the information. Now, tweens, on the other hand, you might get more questions and there might be more anxiety involved. So got to be prepared to address, say, concerns about custody, finances, living situations, whatever they throw at you. And then we also want to allow them to really express their feelings freely. We got to keep that safe space so that they continue the conversations. Now, teenagers, well, they might withdraw, they might get angry. We want to give them space, but also create the opportunities to talk openly. And we got to reassure them that their opinions matter and you're open to their questions. And I think really going back, it's all about also letting them know that, hey, nothing's going to change your love for them. Now, when we focus on open communication, we want to create that safe space that I mentioned. Let your child know that they can talk to you about anything without judgment. And you have to keep the judgment in check as well to make sure that this works. Now, you also got to have active listening in there. Pay a close attention to the words and emotions that they're using. Validate their feelings, even if you don't agree with them. They are entitled to feel how they feel. And so you will need to understand where they're coming from. And then we want to avoid blaming. Reassure them that the divorce isn't their fault. Focus on the future and how you'll both continue to love and support them. Now, when we look at being age appropriate with some details, younger children might not need specifics about the divorce process itself, unless they ask. For older children, though, you got to be honest about the situation, but avoid overwhelming them with a lot of details. So you still want to keep the details kind of high level, but they're probably going to want to know more. And then really, as you're going through this transition and you're going through the divorce process, it's really a period of uncertainty. And children really do get by on stability. And so you want to try to keep the routines as consistent as possible. And this can include things like bedtime schedules, meal times, extracurricular activities, the normal day to day. What was their day like before? And you try to keep their day like that after. Now, if we're struggling to communicate with your child or you sense that they're deeply troubled, then you probably want to consider seeking help from a therapist or a counselor specializing in children of divorce. We want to take every precaution we can. I want to thank you for joining me on this episode of Breaking Ties, Is Divorce the Answer? Should you have any questions, feel free, leave a comment or reach out to me. Divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. And with that, have yourself a great day.